Hello everybody, my name's Andy and welcome back to Onesies. Today I would like to show you Surviving Mars, which is a city building game that I just got a couple of weeks ago. Tried it on a whim. Didn't really know if I was going to like it, and it turned out to be an excellent game that I adore. I love it now, and I want to share that love with everyone, including yourself. So I'm here to show you how this plays and tell you that it's good and that you should play it. Let's start a new game. Alright, so like I said, this is city building on Mars, which poses a problem. You may recall that Mars has no oxygen, no water, no food, etc., nowhere to live. So these are all problems that we're going to try to tackle. Bring some people up to Mars and keep them happy. And deal with other Martian problems that come up. So here, before we actually get to Mars, you have to set up your game. The first thing you do is pick a sponsor, and this kind of determines what you start with. We'll just do the International Mars mission, which is like the easiest one. It gives you a lot of free stuff and makes things easier for you. You can pick a commander profile, which is like you as the leader, like what is your background, and depending on what you pick, you get a couple of bonuses that you otherwise would not. So that's kind of fun. It can change up some things. Also, if events happen later in the game, sometimes you'll get unique choices depending on which profile you have. It'll be like, oh, you can pick this choice because you were a hydro engineer, but if you're not, you can't do it. So it can open up some new avenues. We'll just do random. I don't have any in mind. Colony logo. There's a lot of different logos. Doesn't really do anything, but we are going to do space communism. And then there's a mystery, which I'll just show you the. Here's the options we have. You can see spheres is checked off because I've actually completed that one in a game. The other ones I have not yet. But while you're playing the game, if you have a mystery selected, some weird chain of events will happen. I'm not going to tell you what happened in spheres, but it was pretty weird, and it took a long time for me to resolve, but it was cool. It gave some unique flavor to my game. We'll just do none. I'm not going to spoil any of them for you, and we might not run into it anyway. I think that's about it. Next, we would choose what we want to bring with our initial rocket. Some prefabricated buildings, some vehicles, and resources. We'll just leave it like that. Finally, we need to pick where we want to land. You can land at any of these spots. Oh, actually, you can land anywhere on Mars. Never mind. These are like recommended spots. And you can see the breakdown of main resources you can find there, as well as the risk of different threats on the surface. Let's do... Let's see. Now let's do this one. Alright, let's begin.
Welcome to Mars.
Welcome to Mars. Alright, since this is just a onesie, I want to try to explain to you and show you why this game is so cool in like 20 minutes or so. So, here at the beginning of the game, you can see this is the area we will have to work with. Information about most of the map is hidden. We have scanned only this area, so we can see that there's a source of concrete, and there's something odd there, but we're not sure what it is. And for the rest of the surface, we don't really know what's around. You can see, there's like these mesas and rocks and stuff, but not what we might find there. So let's start off by taking these probes and quickly scanning our surrounding area, just to get a little more information. Okay, so now we know kind of what all's in this area. It's a pretty good starting area. Concrete and metals, like these black rocks here, are especially important at the beginning. And we have a lot of weird anomalies that we can scan that'll probably give us something good. So, let's tell our rocket to land in this area. And we're going to be able to initially work within the big blue hexagon. So I want to make sure that I encompass some good stuff here. I think right here is pretty good. Alright, so our first rocket is coming down. No people on it, because there's nowhere to live on Mars. Yeah, this is just filled with robots and vehicles. Start to get everything ready. Our rocket lands and out pops some vehicles that we'll talk about in a second. We got a commander, an explorer, and a transport. Anything else? Some drones. I love these drones. These little guys do everything for you here on Mars. They gather resources, they build things. We got some more coming out of this commander. They are what get things done here on Mars. Okay. So we have our workers out. Let's see. Let's look at these alerts. It says to start scanning some stuff. We'll just start scanning the surrounding area slowly. Select a research. This game has a lot of things to research. It's not really a tree like you would normally see where you have to research certain things to unlock, you know, complete prerequisites for higher level things and like go in a certain path. It's really tons of technologies. They're broken into 5 different groups, and if you research something from a group, it opens up more going down the line. They're like semi-randomized, so you don't always start with these 5. They're kind of moved around a bit, but as you get down, they do get like more powerful and more interesting things that you can use. New buildings, upgrades, wonders, you know, all sorts of weird stuff. It's definitely fun digging through this. So anyway, we started with some options. Just gonna get a couple of them started here. Make my drones move faster. Yeah, and then I saw that we started with something down here. It is the Hanging Gardens, which is part of it's a spire building that we could build in a dome later. And I think that we start with this technology because of the commander profile that we got. So anyway, those will start researching. Now, what should we do? Let's take a look at what we have. We have the rocket. Just sits here for now. It's got some resources inside. And we need to get those outside. So let's build a universal depot. This will allow the drones to place resources on there. So they're all going to go into the rocket, bring out the resources that we brought from Earth, and put them here so that we can use them for stuff. While they're doing that, let's look at our vehicles. We have an RC Commander. This is a mobile drone commander. You can see some of the drones are highlighted here. You can take this anywhere on the map, and its drones will be able to work within its circle. So right now, most of our drones can work within this rocket radius, but we could actually take the RC Commander outside to like go do something over here if we needed to. Right now, it's fine here by the rocket. We have a transport, which can move. It's basically a big truck. You can move resources and things. So for the time being, I'm just going to tell it to gather metal and bring it back here. Whoops. Not cancel that by accident. Metals, back here. And then I'm going to make a depot just for metal. So we can start just loading that up. The last vehicle we have is the Explorer, which can search these anomalies. So we'll have it start scanning them, and each one it completes should give us something good. We don't know what. Now, while they're working on that, let's take a quick look up here at the top where you'll find all our important information. First of all, we have how much money we have. You don't need to spend money on Mars. This is basically used to order things from Earth. If you need more resources, you know, more vehicles, stuff like that, you have to pay Earth to send it to you. We have our research, how much we get every day, and how far along we are in our current project. These are our life support resources. We don't have any right now, but electricity, oxygen, and water are all the things you need to let people live on Mars, which we will be working on getting those soon. Here we have our basic resources: metals, concrete, which we're going to start getting soon, food for people, of course, and then rare metals, which you don't really build anything with. Mostly you just sell them to get more money. We have advanced materials, polymers, machine parts, fuel, and electronics, which are used for specialized buildings. Also, you need fuel to fill up rockets. Oh good, we scanned that anomaly and got some research and researched something. Nice. Keep scanning. We have waste rock, which is just like garbage that's produced. It'll tell you how much you have. And then this tells you about how many drones you have, how many people, do they all have somewhere to live, do they all have jobs, etc. And that comes into play later. Let's see, what else? I think I've talked about all the boring stuff. Let's get to building. First of all, we want to start getting some concrete. So we will build a concrete extractor over one of these sources. Right there. Move this over a little bit to make sure these drones can work on that site. So you can see that this needs metal and machine parts to be built. So I told the drones where to build it, and they are going to just start. They're clearing these rocks, and then they're going to bring the resources over and build it. Now then, we're also going to need some electricity to power it. We brought these two generators from Earth, so we can put those together, and that'll start some electricity. And then we'll attach it by cable. There you go. Generator's complete.
Someone joked we found kryptonite. It was because of the greenish-yellow hue of the beryl crystals.
Oh, okay, so that anomaly we just finished scanning, you can read this if you want, but basically it made one whole tree of technologies cheaper. That's really quite helpful, actually. A lucky thing to find. Continue scanning. Alright, so you can see our drones are busy at work here. I'm going to put down a... where are they? Here. A dumping site. This is the waste rock, which is just garbage that gets in the way, but we made a dumping site. The drones will move all the garbage there to keep it out of the way. And we just need one more piece of metal to finish our concrete extractor. What else do we want to build in the meantime? Oh, here it goes. Actually, I want you to see this because these buildings are actually kind of cool. There we go. So, it has this spinning thing that just, like, scrapes the concrete off the surface back into the building. And I think it looks pretty cool. After it's been going for a while, it starts to, like, dig a big hole around it where it's dug up the concrete. I think it's a nice effect. And then, anyway, when it's done, it puts the concrete in little cubes here for the drones to grab, like so. Another anomaly message.
We just found the wreckage of Phobos 2. The old probe even had some new data for us to analyze.
Oh, it revealed some more anomalies. We're finding a lot of things. That explorer's really putting in the work. We got two up here. Alright, so we are slowly gathering some concrete. We also have some power. What else? We want to start getting oxygen and water. So, if we had a source of underground water, we could extract it, but we didn't find any nearby. So instead, let's put together this moisture evaporator. It will just kind of condense some water out of the atmosphere. And we brought a prefabricated building from Earth, so we didn't need to use any resources. The drones just put it together. It's generating a little water, and then we need somewhere to keep it. Let's put some water towers back here. Connect them all with pipes. Yeah, the drones will go pull stuff. Let's see, do we have any more metal piles around? Yeah, up here we do. Grab metal, bring it back. There we go. Making those water towers. And now water from the evaporator will slowly fill up those towers and we'll get some saved up. Next would be oxygen. In order to get oxygen, we need a moxie. Let's just build it right there, and then we need some oxygen tanks as well. And those aren't touching the power source yet, so let's just do... Really just the moxie needs power.
Breakthrough discovered.
A breakthrough. Breakthroughs are like special technologies. You don't You don't always get them. They have to be discovered, and they're usually something weird or crazy. 2 breakthroughs. Oh, this, I think we found this in an earlier anomaly. It increases the power production of those generators that we have built, so we could research that. And then this new one unlocks giant crops, which have an increased food output. That must be for farms. Interesting. I haven't seen that one before. Actually, I haven't seen either of these. I don't actually know how many breakthroughs are in this game, but you never know what you might find. Let's go ahead and get the first one at least. Put it on the list. Now we have this Moxie generating some oxygen, storing it in these cases. So we have the beginnings of life going here. Yeah, you can see the concrete extractors covering this whole area. What else can we build? Well, should we build a dome and get people down here? We are generating everything we need. Might need to expand the water and oxygen generation, but... Oh, you know what we have, though?
Research complete. Milestone achieved.
Nice.
Sector scan.
Because of the sponsor that we use for this mission, the very easy one, they actually provide us with a self-sufficient dome, which is a dome for people to live in, and it also comes with a Moxie, 2 moisture evaporators, tanks, and everything. So we didn't even necessarily need to build these, but it definitely won't hurt to have extra. So let's get this dome going and connect it all up. Where do I want to have this? Over here, maybe? Right there. Alright, we'll move the RC commander over here so its drones can reach. Another anomaly.
We've just confirmed the location of
Discovered a metal deposit. Okay, great. Very exciting. There it is. Let's make sure... I don't think the self-sufficient dome comes with any power, so we will have to connect that. Just build some cables there. You can see they're just putting these together because they're all prefabbed. Another Moxie, more water. And the dome itself. Once you have a dome with working life support, we can start bringing some colonists. You can build buildings inside the dome for the places for them to live, you know, places for them to eat, shop, hang out, that sort of thing. Because really the whole point of this is getting people on Mars and then taking care of their needs, whether that's things to keep them alive, things to keep them sane because they're living on this, you know, mostly barren planet in a big bubble that could break at any moment. They'll all die. I'm sure it's pretty stressful. So it's all about management. Managing your resources, managing your people. I think it's a lot of fun. Okay, so you can see we built the dome and all these things, but we are not generating enough power. We're only generating about half of what we need. Now these Stirling generators can do a cool thing. You can actually open them, like so, which makes them generate more power, but they're more susceptible to damage from like dust storms and things, which hopefully we won't run into. So now we are generating enough power. Maybe I better make some stuff just to back it up, just in case, you know? The Stirling generators could break down, and then we'd be out of luck, so I can make some wind turbines. Just for some backup power. And then we should build some stuff in this dome for our colonists that will be arriving soon. Let's actually order some. Passenger rockets. Send down 12 people. Tell them to launch, and then we need to get things ready for them. Living complex can house 14 people, so that's enough. Build that. They're going to want a grocery store, a doctor, a space bar to hang out, a diner to eat, grab a bite, right? What is this? A new and intriguing report has been filed in from an orbital scan. 2 anomalous readings have been detected at the same time, one near your landing spot and one far away. What do you think we're seeing here, Commander? You look at the analysis and immediately know the answer. So we can say, oh, it's a beautiful vista. It reveals a vista, which is an area that people will like to live next to more than normal, because it's so beautiful. A promising opportunity for a research site, revealing a research site, or we can say, oh, it's an underground water deposit. So there'll be one near our landing spot and one far away. Let's do a water deposit, because we actually haven't found any underground water near us, and we might need one later. Indeed, Commander, but the nature of the other anomaly is yet unknown. You've discovered a new planetary anomaly, a remote Martian laboratory. Whoa. That's weird. I haven't run into that before. Do we have... Oh, yeah. So now we found some water deposits nearby. And then I guess there's maybe a Martian laboratory somewhere. I don't know. That's new to me. Okay, no more anomalies around, so our explorer can take a break. Do we have any more metal that we can gather? Yeah, maybe a little here. Keep working on that, you big truck. Okay, you can see we're building all these dome buildings for them. Enough space for them to live. This will give some people some jobs, places to get food, go to the doctor, etc. Let's build a landing pad. If you look at our rocket here, besides the blue hexagon, which is where the drones can work, it also has this gray hexagon, and that is basically when it takes off, you know, all the jets and debris and fuel and stuff cause damage in this area. So it will eventually take off and cause some damage to our wind turbines and these other things. But if we build a landing pad, say like right here, that will eliminate that risk. So then rockets can land here and they won't damage the dome or anything like that. While we're waiting for our colonists to come in, they're about halfway here. What else can we build? There's drone hubs, which kind of set up another radius of drone control wherever you set it up. Drones have to recharge. You can see they're recharging here at the commander. Actually going to build a couple of recharge stations so they can go there to refill their batteries. Sensor towers help you scan faster, and they can alert you to things like meteors coming in or storms and other stuff like that. Different power things, different mines and buildings to produce your own advanced resources, if you can afford that. That's life support stuff. There's different kinds of domes. You can connect them with tunnels and things. Lots of different buildings you can put inside. Spires, which you can put one spire in domes as long as they're big enough. They are usually special buildings. So with our profile, we have the hanging gardens. A beautiful park complex increases everyone's comfort. So we could plug that in here in the middle if we wanted. You can do some decorations inside and so on. And then as you go through the research tree, you can build, you know, more new different things, upgrade buildings in different ways. So there's a lot to get into here. I was kind of overwhelmed the first time I played it, but the more I played it, I was just like, man, the possibilities are crazy. There were so many different things I could do. And it's just trying to do those things while keeping everyone happy and while not running out of water and stuff like that. Alright, so you can see we have our houses ready. These buildings are ready, but there's no one working there yet. It looks like we are kind of low on concrete at the moment. Still mining it, of course. And our colonists are ready to land. Oh, but actually our landing pad isn't ready yet. That's alright. We'll just have them land over here. There. here they come, the first people to live on Mars.
Milestone achieved.
There they are, bounding out of the rocket into their new homes in the dome. Some of them saying, hey, I don't have a job on Mars. And me saying, why? Why do you care about that? That is not important. There they go, moving into their homes, getting a job at the grocer, etc. Waiting for the diner to be built once we've mined enough rock. And so on. So anyway, that's about all I'm going to show you here today. I just wanted to give you kind of a quick taste. Obviously, there's hours and hours of more things we can do here. Tons of things to research and build. I just love this game. I've played it for a long time already. I still enjoy it every time I bring it up. For one thing, the soundtrack is amazing. It sets such a great mood. I could listen to it for hours. So you got that going in the background. You've got all these different choices you can make, having to manage different resources and people's wants and needs. You know, striking out on expeditions and trying to handle any crises that pop up. You know, does your dome get cracked and it needs to be repaired before people die? Is there a dust storm or a cold storm blowing in that's messing up all your buildings? It's having to deal with all that stuff. If you like city builders, or if you like what you've seen here today, I definitely recommend picking up Surviving Mars. It is a lot of fun. I really can't recommend it enough. It's great if you want to have a relaxing time. It's great if you want to try to optimize your operations. There's just so many different things you can do. And I think it's a lot of fun. So anyway, if you have any questions about what you saw today, leave me a comment, let me know. I'll try to answer it. If you want to see more of this game, definitely let me know, because I love it and would absolutely play more of it on the channel. But for today, this was just a onesie. Thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you next time.